Hi, this is Pat Johnson, your sociology instructor. In this mini lecture, we're going to talk about the type of research called surveys. What is the survey method of research? When conducting a survey, the researcher is asking people questions about their attitudes, opinions, or behaviors. You're all familiar with surveys. You've probably completed many surveys in your life, be they online, at the doctor's office, at a restaurant, or even in a college class. During a semester, students will often complete what is called the Student Opinion of Instruction. This is a survey given by the college to find out how a student is doing in the class, what their thoughts of the class are, and an evaluation of the teacher and the method of instruction. In sociology, there is a survey whose data is available to researchers called the General Social Survey. Here's the web page for the General Social Survey. It's conducted by the University of Chicago, and you can get the data from the General Social Survey and look at all the data that they've collected. There are some important concepts to understand when conducting a survey. The first concept is called the population. The population just means all the people who are the focus of your research. In other words, everyone you want to know about. So if we look at a survey, the whole group that we want to study is the population. The population might be all the people in the United States, or all people who go to this college, or all the people who live in the county. Well, that's not realistic to survey the whole population. I only know of one survey, the census, where the whole population is surveyed. Usually, researchers study just a sample of a population. The concept sample means a smaller proportion of the population. So the population is the entire group you wish to study, and then a sample is just a smaller proportion of that population. The problem is, if we take any sample from a population, it may not be a good sample. And by a good sample, I mean representative. A representative sample is a sample that reflects the makeup of the population. So for example, all the students registered for this class are a sample of all the students at the college. But they're not a representative sample. They're just students who happen to be registered in this Introduction to Sociology class. They may be living at one area of the county more than the other. They may be older, they may be younger, they may be more affiliated to the military or not. But if we just ask everybody in this class to be a sample of the population of students at the college, it doesn't represent the whole college. One of the ways to get a representative sample is to do what is called a random sample. The definition of a random sample is everyone in the population has an equal chance of being in the sample. Statistically, if everyone in the population has an equal chance, then that random sample will be representative. That's the beauty of random sampling. The sample then truly reflects the makeup of the population. It would be statistically impossible for a sample that is drawn at random to not be representative of the population. How does a researcher obtain a random sample? Remember, everyone in the population has to have an equal chance of being in the sample. Well, let's suppose this is a list of people that we want to survey, but we don't have enough time or money to conduct a survey with each and every person on the list. in a way that is not done today, but is a good image of what a random sample would be. Let's suppose we take that list and print it out on paper. Then we take scissors and cut up the list so that everybody's name is on one slip of paper. Then we put all those names into a big hat. We mix up all the names in the hat, and then we draw out our sample size. That would be a random sample, where everyone in the population has an equal chance of being picked. It's not done with a hat anymore. What is usually done is with a random sample generator on a computer. The computer has the whole list of the population and then randomly selects the sample size that the researcher wants. If it's done this way, it is a random sample and will be representative of the population.